starting new to the bully world, you have a vision, what you want, healthy, athletic, muscles, etc. What do you look for or go by the bloodlines, Dax, Gotti, etc., or do you look more for looks and trying to combine physical and health aspects?
I think it's a combination of everything. Certain bloodlines, carry certain features. I would say you have to focus on a breeder. Try to find a breeder, that has established a line. Someone that you can see a consistency in their program. Because then you can search what you want, and you can pretty much know that if you get a dog from them, you're going to get the style that you like because they're producing it on a consistent level. They've been doing it for so long. Like I said, certain bloodlines are more muscular than others. You have some bloodlines that are muscular, but they come with the structural flaws and the health issues. So, like I said, basically you got to search for a breeder, that's producing that style dog that you like on a consistent level. That's all I can say. As far as the edge dogs seem to be cleaner. Nowadays, a lot of the Gotti stuff is kind of real extreme, so you lose a lot of the athleticism in your dog, and you get a lot more structural issues and health issues. That's just my opinion. Some edge stuff is the same way, but I feel like there are more edge breeders breeding, more for the show ring or the complete package. A dog that, still has athleticism but is bully. So I guess that's what I have to say on that. Did I answer all the questions? Did I touch base on everything that he asked or she asked?
Me, but I look more for physical aspects, physical traits. If I see a stud I like or a program that I like, if I'm looking to get a dog off of that blood or that program, I want to see the characteristics that I like the dogs in the programs for. That's so I try to go more for the looks. I look for the consistency. I look for what the siblings come out like, what are they producing, production and things like that. But I don't really concentrate too much on pedigrees and things like that with these dogs because there's so much going on with these dogs that you don't know what's what. So I breed more off of looks than ped.
Correct. I agree with you, Law. Also, like I said, like the dog itself. There's an old saying, the dog makes the pedigree doesn't make the dog. So basically, that saying means that if you have a turd, the pedigree does you no good, But a good physical specimen is what you strive for. So if you have a good physical specimens, you're ahead of the game. Whether he can reproduce himself or not, that's why I say the pedigree plays a part because and like you said, Lawrence, you look for a consistency there. So with the pedigree comes consistency because you can look at and I wouldn't say going far back. The first 3 generations, you can see what was used and the look and see if there's a consistent look there, consistent build, what type of muscles these dogs carried. And that's why I say that it's important to study the breeder and check out a breeder that is, that has been here a while, that has created his own line. Because like Lawrence said, we don't know what these pedigrees are. With some breeders, man, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So you might think it might show one way on pedigree, and it's really something different.
Right. So I saw a post today. Somebody posted up, if you breed for looks, you should stop breeding. That's true in other breeds, like Rottweilers and Dobermans and Pomeranians, where all the dogs have the same look. All the dogs are bred to look a certain way, the same way, consistent look throughout the breed. So when you're dealing with a breed like that, yeah, you can breed off a ped. But when you're dealing with a dog like this, where you got so many different looks and you have so many different backgrounds in all of these dogs, how can you possibly breed off a pedigree? That's why when I see 2 times there, 3 times there, and people get so excited about that, it's nonsense because it doesn't matter. how many times a dog is. It matters whether it carries the traits. And with these dogs, you can't concentrate on a pedigree and try to stack it and build off of a pedigree unless you have all those dogs in your yard and you know for a fact how they're bred and what's in them. If you got dogs from outside of your yard, you don't know for a fact how they bred. Just because the paperwork says one thing, it doesn't mean that that's what the dog is. So how can you breed off a pet? Tom, we can't hear you if you're talking.
What happened?
Oh, I thought you said something.
I can't see you. There you are.
The connection must be going in and out because my screen went black.
All right, really quick, guys. Really quick. Maybe it'll be better. I got the Google Hangouts on my laptop set up and ready to go, but it's telling me. How do I connect?
You're like breaking up real bad, Tom. Yeah, he's frozen.
Is that better? There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, it's switching off on connections. That's why I'm trying to get on my laptop. But it's telling me that I need an invite. How do I get on to?
Hold on, I'll send you one.
Hey, Brandy wants an invite too, Lawrence.
Yeah, tell her, give me a second. I don't want to have like a whole bunch of people on. I just want to have a couple people on while we get started, and then I'll bring her in.
Okay.
Also, if anybody else wants to get in and you want to actually contribute to the conversation, give some input or anything like that, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll send you an invite to be on the actual video chat. Also, any questions? Also, thank you, Hector, for your question. Any other questions, you can hit me on Facebook. If you want to join the conversation on the video call, you have to hit the banner on the bottom of your video. Let it load up. After it loads up, hit the three dots on the top right side of your screen. It'll drop down a box. It'll say request desktop, and then you can open up the chats through Facebook, through YouTube.
All right, when you ready for another question, Lawrence, I have one.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, y'all were talking earlier and the other day too, but y'all didn't really elaborate. I don't know if you've been on Facebook or anything in the last couple of weeks. There's been a big controversy about hung papers and stuff like that. Can you guys go into that a little bit and explain what the term hung papers mean and all that type of stuff? Because I actually got a question about it from a friend of mine, and I wasn't able to fully explain what it meant and how it affects, the bullies and stuff like that.
It affects them how I just said. When you get a dog, you don't know what's behind the dog. So your paperwork will say one thing, but the dog will be something else behind it, whether it's right up front or back in the bed. So you can't. Hung papers is just that. The papers are not true to what the dog is bred like.
Correct.
Yeah, because I think it's been like a controversy with a big name kennel, and a couple litters did match up for the paperwork that was given out to customers.
We heard about that.
So yeah, so there was some uproar and stuff like that on a couple of the boards, and that's why I was asking the question, because I know it affects does it affect, if you have hung papers, doesn't that affect you registering those dogs moving forward if they're actually hung? Like, those, you can't really register hung to paper dogs, right?
Right, you if you get caught.
Well, true. True.
It's only going to affect you if you get caught doing it. So, and again, that's why I say all the time, people say that that's dumb or whatever, but I think it's dumb to think that you could breed these dogs off of their paperwork, or it being 3 times this or 3 times that, or being a daughter or son of a such and such dog. These dogs have to breed off of the characteristics that they carry if you want them to pass on. You agree, Tony, or disagree?
I agree. I agree. Definitely.
Shaka Zulu sent a question in. He says, do you think there should only be 3 classes, Pocket, Standard, and Excel? There's always been controversy over that. I think it's too many classes, personally. There aren't any other breeds that have this many classes. The most popular classes are the Standards and Pockets. Everything else, I think, is just more so to just keep shows packed and stuff like that, because there's not really a big demand for classes or Excel dogs. I mean, in my opinion, from what I see, I don't see a big demand for classes for Excel dogs. So I think there should only be 2 classes to myself.
Yeah, see, I disagree with you. I think there's a lot of XL breeders out there. I mean, you're right as far as the show ring, we don't see a whole lot of XLs. But I think things go through spurts. Sometimes, like I remember when a pocket class was real huge, then it died out some, then it's real big again. But there's good and bad about that. Like you said, when you have all these different varieties, it's hard to achieve a consistency because you got somebody breeding their classic to a pocket because they want to shrink them down, but then a whole bunch of dogs out of that litter come out classic. So then you have more classics, you have pockets. So I like all the varieties. I can just appreciate a good dog, but it does stop us from developing a consistency. But at the same time, with giving all these different varieties, the XL, the Classic, the Pocket Standard, etc., it gives people a place to display their dogs and show their dogs. So it makes the community larger. And, I don't know about everybody else, but I have a good time at a dog show. I like when there's a big turnout. You get to interact with a lot of people from all over the place. So that's my view on it.
I mean, do you think that helps the breed, though? To have...
Like I said, I think it does stop us from creating a consistency. The best thing for me would be if you wanted to create more of a consistency, you could have like the Pocket and the Standard, and it would kind of be like, let's just say, like a miniature Bull Terrier and the Standard Bull Terrier, something like that. 2 dogs that have the same look, it's just one's smaller than the other.
Right, and I think the standards are now expected to be more extreme. So I think that's correct, and I think the Pocket should be a little extreme dog. And it should, because having all of these other dogs, like you said, people are breeding XLs to Pockets and Standards to Classics and Classics to Pockets. So, I don't do it. I don't see the point of doing that. It doesn't benefit the breed. It benefits the shows. But
Yeah.
I don't think it benefits the breed at all, having all of these different classes.
Yep. For me, at the same time, I don't like the. I know there's a lot of people that still breed for the classic style dog. They like that. They put a lot of years of work into a program. So it's like a catch-22. What do you do? What do you say? Because you have the classic style. These aren't pit bulls. Which is kind of crazy because now you have all these dogs with the bully blood. Now, like ABKC, they're registering American Pit Bull Terrier now.
Right. Well,
to me, that's not a pit bull.
The same people that go online and scream about how people don't breed to the standard are the ones that have classic dogs. But if you read the standard, their dogs don't fit the standard.
That's true.
When you see a classic dog, you don't see strength. You don't see those exaggerated traits or anything. So when you read the standard, it calls for some of that in certain places, and you don't see that in the dog. But those are the same people that are screaming about how people don't breed to the standard.
And I mean, you're correct. A classic dog is supposed to have substance. It's not supposed to be a very frail built dog, and a lot of times that's what we see. You know, it's still supposed to be a robust built dog.
That's my issue. I mean, there's no there's no rhyme or reason in it. It's just a bunch of everybody has their own style. Yes, tomorrow is Brandy's birthday. Brandy Moore, tomorrow's her birthday. We want to wish her a happy birthday. We're gonna
Yay! Happy birthday, Brandy.
We're gonna bring you on soon, Brandy. Tomorrow's her birthday. Happy birthday. We won't be on tomorrow. We'll be on again probably Friday, Thursday or Friday. Probably Friday. So it's gonna be snowing. Everybody will be in the house. We have something to do. Please, everybody, if you want to join in, man, please. We need more input from the community. This is not just about us, our views. It's supposed to be a round table, which means that it's supposed to be the views of everybody. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong here. Everybody is entitled to have their own views. If you want to come on and you want to speak on how you feel about certain issues, give your input, talk about your Kindle, whatever it is, it's a round table. It's for everybody. And we want people to participate. So hit me up on Facebook. If you want to get in, I'll send you a link. If not, we appreciate the views on YouTube. Also have it streaming live on my Facebook. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Make sure you have no questions on this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I love when people, ask questions. As we get the hang of this, it's going to be nice to have some kennels. We'll feature some kennels and let everybody introduce themselves to the community, talk about their programs, talk about their vision, talk about their success in the bully game, and that's what this is all about. It's about the community. You got to bear with us. We're still trying to figure things out, as everyone can see, but it's going to get better. It'll be a well-organized show.
I started a lot. I shouldn't really start the feed so early and have all that filler in front of the video, but I want to make sure everything is working before I start it up. So that's why it's up so early before we start. But next time I'll try not to do that. All right, I'm sending out that invite right now.
Gotcha.
All right. So, Damien, you got any questions over there?
He's on mute, baby. He's on mute. There you are.
Yeah. Okay, to piggyback what y'all were talking about earlier, how do y'all feel about the offshoot breeds like what is it, the Brahma Bull and the Shorty Bull? Do you feel like we should actually try to get the American Bully right first before we delve into different offshoot breeds like that, or is it fine to do that as long as they can have a consistent look?
Go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, Law. No, go ahead.
I think, to me, the Brahma Bull is not really any different than the American Bully. If we're being honest, a lot of the dogs look exactly the same. I know breeders who actually are breeding oldies to their dogs. They're telling people about it. But their dogs don't look any different than the American Bullies to me. So with that breed, I would say it's really no different. They're just being honest about it and trying to develop their breed the right way. Same thing with Shorty Bulls. I don't see a problem. It doesn't impact the American Bully unless you cross them together. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to just go ahead and do their thing and develop their breed. So
Yeah. Well, I respect the fact that people have their own vision and want to do something different. I do think the Brahma Bully is different than American Bully as far as the vision that they have. But I also can agree with you, Law, because what the Brahma Bullies look like is a lot of the exotics. A lot of the exotic people are using the bulldog breeds and the Frenchies and stuff. So essentially, they're getting the same look, and they have American Bully blood in there. So they're getting the same look at these as these Brahma bulls. So that's where the conflict comes in. But the Brahma bull community is doing it the right way. They're saying, hey, this is it. We're going to establish, we're going to have a different look than the American Bully. And I can respect that. Shorty bulls, I love shorty bulls. I think they're a really neat breed. You know, Jamie Sweet is a personal friend of mine. She knows her stuff. She works hard to, you know, to create a consistency in her breed, and she's really been working hard on putting these dogs out there, putting good quality dogs out there. So, I mean, I can respect that. I like it, you know.
I also have a friend that breeds shorty bulls and Frenchies, and I see how much work it goes on. Like I said, it's completely separate from the American Bully as far as a breed goes. So it doesn't impact the progression of the American Bully. So yeah, I think that's fine. And you know, they're going about it the right way also. You know, with the shorty bull. So I think that was everybody's problem with the exotics, that it just came. It's the whole movement stemmed from people having a problem with the mixing. If the mixing wasn't being exposed and all that, I don't think the whole movement would have even came about. So when people got tired of hearing everybody bashing, they wanted to separate it from the American Bully, the same way the American Bully wanted to separate from the pit bulls and Amsterdam. So I think the problem that people had was that they just jumped right into it and then tried to build the breed. They're building the breed while they're working it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
all right, we got a question from Jesse. Yes, we are still on. Shaka had a question. Do you think the RKC and the ABKC should have a best of the best show?
I think that would be interesting.
All the best dogs from around the country come out. That would be kind of dope.
Yep.
That's a good idea. Shaka.
We've actually talked about it before. I've actually spoke to Fabian about doing something like that. What's up?
Fix your
You
light.
can't hear me?
No, we can hear you. I can't see you.
Okay. How about that? Is that better?
No. Yeah, that's better.
We good?
Yeah, that's better.
Bam. All right. So, yeah, we've actually spoke about it. I've talked to other judges about it. This is something that came up in the past, and I think it'd be a great idea. I mean, why not? You know, bring the community together. The thing is that, like, some people, man, are clicked up, and they treat it like gang wars, man. Seriously. I mean, it should be about the dogs, and they're so, like, support who supports you, and do this, and everybody. Like, it's not about that. Go to whatever registry you can go and have fun with. I mean, I'm out to promote my dogs. I'm out to meet new people. I'm out to have a good time. You know, I'm out to show the world that I have the best, plain and simple.
Well, I think
so I'll go everywhere.
I think that whole support those that support you thing came about with people who feel like their dogs don't get enough attention and they don't understand why. We got Jesse Salinas getting ready to come on, and then after that we're gonna let Brandy in. I think a lot of people come up with use that term when they feel like they're not getting the attention that they think they deserve. So they like, well, you don't like my stuff, I'm not gonna like your stuff. And I think that's fake. I mean, if you on Facebook just liking a bunch of posts just to be liking them, I think that's fake. I don't think that you should like or comment something positive on a dog that you don't think actually fits the standard or actually has the qualities that they're being advertised as. I don't think that's not being supportive. I think that's being real. That's just my opinion. If I don't like something, I'm not gonna like it.
All right.
But hold on, we got another question.
Yeah, I was supposed to say I got another question too. Whenever you're after yours.
somebody messaging me, let me know they home. Go ahead, Damien.
Okay, to kind of jump off topic real quick. The other day when me and you and Lauren was talking, Lawrence, before Tony got on, you said you wanted to touch on the topic of females. Is it 50-50 with the males on productions, or is it more? And y'all kind of lightly touched over it, but y'all never really discussed it.
We
I believe it's
discussed it.
50-50.
My mic just screwed up, and I disagree big time with that. You know, we discussed that. We discussed why. Everybody wants to see what that conversation was. You can go back. We did discuss it. We can't really go too deep in it because it's pretty much going to be based on opinion. There's stuff on the internet that says one thing. There's stuff on the internet that says something else. So it's gonna be based on your experience with your breeding, with what you've experienced, because it's not something that you can prove unless you put things into a controlled setting where you're doing experiments. So we can argue about that all day. I don't agree. I think the females are so much more important than the males.
I do listen. I feel that they are important because this is the thing. In any breed, usually the breeder compromises the female. You understand? They don't. If you have a phenomenal female, your litter turns out that much better. But everyone focuses on the male. Look at famous dogs. Any dogs that becomes popular or has success. It's always it's just habit. We always refer to the stud. We always want to see who he's off of. So the stud always gets the credit, and the female gets very little credit. I'm guilty of doing it. I got to catch myself. But the female plays a huge part, and very few breeders have great quality females. When you do have great quality females, the results are astronomical. You can see the quality in the offspring, and you have such a great success. When you use a good female.
I think the difference in using a mediocre female and a phenomenal female is the quality of the entire litter. To me, my experience, when you use females that are not equal in quality to your males, that's when you get those one hitters. Those litters where you get that one dog that's just wow, and then everything else is like, So when you take a really nice female to your really nice male, that gives you a better overall litter. I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's a lot more on the female. Because I've seen if you look at some males, I'm not going to say no dog's name because people get butthurt, but if you look at some of the males, some males, you breed them to subpar females, they throw nothing but plastic style dogs. You take that same dog to a really nice female, and the whole litter come out really bully and real nice. So the females are very important. I think this is important or a little more important than Jesse, what's up, man?
What's happening, fellas? What's going on?
Welcome, man. I see you in front of the shower curtain again.
Yeah, man. I'm in the restroom, man, taking a shit, man, listening to y'all, man.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, look, man. Hey, king of the throne, baby.
Hey, Jess, if you wanna full screen, you wanna turn your phone sideways because we getting a little strip straight down the middle.
Oh, what you trying to say? I'm taking up too much of this shit?
I'm saying, yeah, you're a big fella, man. We need to get your whole face in there. We only got, your beard, a little bit of your beard and all that.
Like that, huh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow this shit for the beard competition, man.
I wish I had the patience and shit to grow my beard like that. I can't do it, man.
Oh, it's horrible, man. Once that shit starts coming in, you be wanting to shave it, but I think I'm good now. I done got past the point where I feel all that nastiness, like it feels just itchy, bro. I'm good now, though. I'm going to grow it long, bro.
It's itchy, though. It's itchy.
I'm going to be the Mexican Santa Claus.
The Mexican Santa Claus.
Orale. What y'all boys up to? I see y'all are really making this thing kind of daily here, I see.
We did it. I think we did it 3 days in a row last week, just to get, people familiar, whoever missed it, get a feel of it. And then this week we're going to do it today. and then we'll probably do it again either Thursday or Friday. I'm probably gonna shoot for Friday, but we may do it Thursday. Not sure.
Right on.
We get the edge anytime, you know.
Yeah.
Talking, these type of conversations need to be more public, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. Because a lot of people are lost out there. They need to hear it and they need to get some sort of advice. You know what I mean? You're a good breeder, and Tony Gold, that man's got his stripes. Well-respected guy in the game. So, yeah, that's what's up. I enjoy coming to check y'all out.
More people. We want more people. We want different perspectives. You've been in the game a lot longer than I have. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen a lot more. You've seen a lot of dogs coming through. You've seen the dogs that came in was popping. You've seen a lot of dogs in person, because back then Facebook really wasn't popping like that. So you had to just travel around and go here and there. So you've been in the game a lot longer, and that's a good perspective.
Yeah,
to see how far things have changed, and we can get a gauge on how far things will change down in the future.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, man. I remember
Jesse froze
Joker. I froze up.
Yeah. Say that again.
I said, yeah, it's changed a whole lot, man. I remember just going to shows and standing over your dog. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to have a choker. He didn't have to be on your left side. I mean, just something as that simple to me, that's what I kind of miss. But I know it's grown a whole lot bigger and a whole lot more on a commercial and a whole lot more professional level, though. So, yeah, I see where it's headed. You know what I mean? In a good direction, and a lot of new people and old people need to learn a lot. Like I said, I was kind of stuck in that. I like barbecues myself. Personally, I like going and hanging out, and you know what I mean?
John Easterly, I saw he made a post.
But
John Easterly made a post. Yeah, it might have been yesterday. I'm not sure, but he made a post saying that he wanted to see how many people in the field. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Hey, I'm on.
Huh?
I'm on the other account now.
Okay.
I'm actually on the thing.
He wanted to see how many people would be interested in doing an old style barbecue. I've never been to one. The first show I've been to was an UKC show. That was the first show I ever been to. 2009, I think. I only went to one UKC show. That wasn't my style. I never went back, but that was my first experience. So it was a lot different than yours, or maybe even Tony's. Tony was involved in a lot of the weight pulling events, and what else, Tony? What other events did they have back then that they don't have now?
I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I did weight pulling. I did some hog hunting. These weren't really events, the hog hunting, but the weight pulling. That's something everybody was into back in the day. We showed UKC, ADBA. They both had weight pool events. Also, I was into Akitas also, so I showed AKC Akitas.
Well, what other events were around back then, like besides the weight pool? Because I know they had the jump. They had
They didn't have that back in the day. I mean, they have they have agility trials and stuff like that. They have lure cursing, stuff like that. I mean, that's about it that I can think of.
So you look like you about to do what's the dude's name? What's the dude's name?
What?
You look like you about to do one of them dumb videos.
What video?
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm lost, bro. I'm lost. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I did the UKC thing first. I didn't really like it. It was too quiet, man. Everybody was just sitting there so quiet and not doing nothing until the show started. And that's cool but you wanted to be fun, so I didn't have fun when I went to the UKC show. I actually,
Nah.
my first show I went to was with Heidi from HD Bully. That was the first person I went to a show with.
That's why, man, these shows, this is where it's at, ABKC, and I enjoy listening to the music. I enjoy being able to drink a little bit. A lot of people get mad. They're like, nah, man, you can't be drinking here. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. That takes the fun out of that shit for me, bro. I like to go hang out, have a good time, not be fucking stuck up and snobby nosed and shit. Fuck that.
I mean, that's cool. I like to have a good time too. But the problem is that everyone can't handle the liquor.
Don't move closer to your mic. That mic is not as strong as your phone.
How about that?
Yeah, but now you frozen.
Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It's much clearer than your phone too. Oh, he's frozen again.
Yeah, is that better?
I think you're coming in and out.
Yeah, that's good.
I got full reception. I don't know why. Yeah, anyway. I mean, I think that's all good. You should be able to have a good time and stuff, but everyone can't handle their liquor, and this is a family environment.
Yeah, you're right.
Jesse, you might be able to handle your liquor and you like to have a good time. You got guys that like to prove a point. They got a, ego and they get to drinking and they got an issue with another breeder and this and that, and then stuff pops off of the show, you know?
Yeah, you're right, man. That's
Got to keep our women and our kids safe.
yeah, but we gotta raise them like hoodlums too. You know what I'm saying? We need our kids to go in there fighting and now playing. I see what you're saying. It gets out of hand sometimes, but I see where it's going and where it's went. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's got to be on a more professional level. But I'm just saying, like, I seen that thing where John Easterly had posted up too. He was like, with like "Come As You Are." You know what I mean? He had like a wife beater on. He was a judge. You know what I mean? And that's how it was fun. Like, you heard the music in the back. People was getting down. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the dogs. Yes, it's on a whole other scale now, I guess, but that's where I liked it. That's when I enjoyed it the most.
Yeah. Man, it's always fun where you don't have to, come and impress anybody. You can just come in slacks, whatever, walk out the house. But, you kind of want to bring a level of professionalism. I mean, this is a dog show, so, it is nice. I mean, I personally like to dress up. I like to have my dog shiny and looking great and come in there dressed to impress,
Yeah,
I mean, Lawrence comes looking like $1 million, man. He comes with his clean and everything.
Well, it depends.
Yeah, I see him. I seen him out there.
If it's an indoor event and it's like nationals or something like that, yeah, I'm gonna dress up. If it's an indoor event, it's just a regular show, I'll come dressed like this, but my clothes will be fitting. My shirt will be tucked in. My pants won't be hanging off my ass and my underwear hanging out. My shoes are tied. So you can be professional however you come dressed. It's just how you present yourself. You don't give a shit. I see people with their Kennel T-shirts on and they all stretched out and faded like they washed them 1,000 times. The logo's peeling off. The
bully ain't got a head no more and shit.
They got one hand on the lead and they got the other hand holding the back of their pants up.
Hey man, that's fat people problems though, man.
Nah, it ain't just the fat people. They guys coming in with their pants hanging off their ass and they want to run around the ring. They can't bend down. Some of the girls too, they bending over, boobies falling all out.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, it got to be both ways. You know what I mean?
Don't let me be a judge. They're winning every time.
I'll cover my eyes.
There you go.
You can be professional however you come, man. I come like this,
right.
Especially if it's an outdoor event. You don't want to be all buttoned up and with shoes on, running in the mud and all that. You want to be comfortable. It's hot. It's windy, people running around you, kicking it, you eating and all of that. You don't want to be all dressed up. So I think it's just all in how you present yourself.
For sure, man. For sure.
I can see who's viewing, not who's viewing, but I can see how many people are viewing. I want to tell everybody we appreciate the views, man. It's growing. It's growing. Oh, one dropped off. I guess somebody thought I could see him. We appreciate y'all, man. It's growing every time. This is the 3rd episode so far. We getting better. I'm going to try to have some guests on since nobody wants to be brave and join us and just kick it like we sitting, you know, around the table talking. We're going to try to get some guests on. We know a lot of people between us, you know. Anybody that's interested on furthering the movement, giving people a different perspective, just hit us up. You're more than welcome to come on, man. This is not one of those things where we pick and choose who comes on. Newbies, if you want to come on, you can come on. You just have to have some type of input. You can't just sit there and stare at us. You got to have input, and you can come on. So hit us up if you want to get on. If you want to join in the chat, ask any questions. There's a link right at the bottom of your screen on the video. It's a yellow link. You hit that link, it'll open up another video. If you hit the 3 dots, it'll drop down. You hit request desktop, and it'll open up the chats, or just hit us up on Facebook, Tony, Damien, or myself, and we'll answer any questions.
Hey, is anybody having trouble getting into the chat the way you just explained it?
It's hard.
Or was it just me? Because I did that. I dropped down and shit, but it wouldn't. I couldn't see the little bar where you can comment and shit. Because I was listening in the other night.
Bottom. That's the thing too. Once the chat opens up, it's stupid. You have to scroll all the way to the bottom. So you want to flick your screen, and you're gonna see a little green bar at the bottom, and you hit that, and you'll be able to chat. If you click in the space where you think you would type at, nothing's gonna happen. You gotta scroll all the way down to the bottom of the screen.
Okay, there you go. So people who are listening, that's what y'all got to do. Because I was getting stuck, actually, when I was listening. It was probably yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was just listening, and I couldn't get in there to type. I couldn't figure it out. But there you go. Y'all got to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Right. I don't know why they got it like that, because you scroll out of the video when you do that. Not out of the screen, but you can't see the video when you sorry, that's the way. No, we're not getting off. Also, if you got Hangouts and you in the chat for this group, you can just ask any questions there. I'm going back and forth between Hangouts and the video, so I'll be able to see your messages. Randy,
also, they can be invited into the Hangouts part where it's just the chat area is what you're saying.
Right. They can go just to the chat. They can go to YouTube. They can type right on the bottom of the YouTube video. I'll be checking back and forth. I just don't want to keep it open because you can hear feedback. Or Damien, when you got yours muted, just check the YouTube link every now and then and see if anybody asks a question there so we don't miss anybody.
He said, hey, Damien.
Damien is
thumbs up, brother.
Damien is a newbie to the bully world. For those that like scared to come on, Damien right now he doesn't have any dogs. He's on with us every show. He's my tech. He's making a contribution. He's helping us out. I'm not real tech savvy when it comes to all this Google stuff, and he is a self-proclaimed nerd. So, you know, he's helping us out, man. Everybody in the bully community, if it's a community, everybody got to help out. So he offers.
He's on point. He's on point with the questions too. I see, man. He's asking all the questions that the people want to know.
Man, and he's contributing. So, you know.
He's on point, man. You just need to fix that damn echo, that feedback.
Well, I think that was my computer. Take your mic off. Unmute yourself, Damien. I had the YouTube video playing on my laptop.
All right, I'm unmuted.
Yeah, see, there's no echo.
You can't hear nothing. No,
all right, I actually have a question for Tony off Facebook. I think it's Juan Jimenez. He wants to know. Yeah, he wants to know, as a judge, has the presentation of an individual or the condition of a dog ever affected your judging negatively? Like if somebody was in there with the pants hanging down, or the dog wasn't in show quality condition. It was a good dog, but it wasn't like it had like a lot of dandruff, all that type of stuff. How does that affect your judging decision?
Well, as far as
come closer.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me now?
You can't hear me.
I can hear you. It just sounds real far away. Now I can hear you better.
I'm real close. I mean, I don't
Talk
know. I
up.
mean, top on my chest. All right. Well, as far as the way someone dresses, no, because our job as judges is to focus on the dogs. I'm not gonna not pick somebody because of the way they dress. I feel that they do their self and their dog injustice. You know, if they're busy pulling up their pants or something like that. I mean, you're only hurting yourself. You know, but if you're able to showcase your dog, um, effectively, then so be it. But as far as dogs, yes. I mean, you have dogs that come in lame. That's a disqualifying uh, thing. So usually dogs get disqualified. Um, some people bring their dogs with shit and piss all over them. They literally, I mean, they
Oh
smell so
no.
bad. They have sores all over them. A lot of times I'll dismiss them. I've had guys step into the ring with their dogs covered in fleas jumping all over me. So that's not fair to everybody else. Those fleas are gonna jump onto everyone else's dogs, and you're gonna have infestation. You're gonna have infestation in their kennels. It's not fair to everybody. I mean, fleas are impossible to get rid of, and that's not fair. So people need to be responsible, and if you don't have consideration for the people around you or the dogs around you, you don't deserve a win. You know, and that's basically it. You can't be. It's like bringing a dog with parvo in the ring. You wouldn't bring a dog with parvo. Same thing with fleas. So things like that, yeah, they will get you dismissed.
Yeah, if I was a judge, I would be real critical of the dogs because I see a lot of dogs, especially white dogs. You can tell the level of
Yeah, that's
care.
racist.
No, listen. What you can tell the level of care somebody gives their dog just by looking at them. Like when their nails are really long, their feet are all red from licking their feet. They got sores on the side of their arms and all over their feet, on their tail. Dogs that sit in urine all day, their whole rear ends will be like stained yellow, and they bring them
And
in like
dried
that.
out and shit. Yeah, I've seen some horrible shit. Y'all want to present y'all shit as best possible, man. Uh, Fuck, not even just to show, just to own your dog. Y'all take care of your dogs. Bathe them, clean them. It doesn't have to be daily. You wash out their natural oils, but clean them and present them the best possible when you take them in front of a judge. Because they don't want to be touching a nasty ass, pissy dog with fleas. Come on, man. That's not right. That's not fair to these judges or, like Tony was saying, the other people in the ring with them. And I see crates too when people come to the shows. These crates are all fucking broken, and there's no bottom pan in the bottom, or not even a folded, nice, clean blanket in there for the dog. It's an old, rusted crate. Come on, man. Y'all are buying dogs and selling dogs for $500 to $1,500 and more dollars. Buy a new fucking crate. Little things, man. It's the little things that matter, man. Buy a new crate. Banners. If your banner's all chewed up, I mean, Lawrence is a real good example of a good setup in indoor and outdoor shows. He has his nice banners, his pictures on his tables, a nice tabletop cover, fucking, nice crates. Now, I mean, just present yourself the best way possible because you have future customers and you have judges walking around. I ain't going to lie. I'd be a critical-ass judge. If I walked around and I seen your shit, you probably wouldn't get nothing from me, bro, because you ain't deserving. If you're not putting that time and money into your animals, you're probably not deserving of a win anyway. And that's just me. I'm not a judge. I'm just saying, giving my point of view if I was. So present yourself because a lot of people are watching and judges are watching and seeing all the shit that even I'm talking about. They see it. So present yourself as best possible.
Okay, he wants to follow up real quick. He says, Tony, what are some of the most common disqualifiers you see the most in the show ring?
Uh, Disqualifying faults, um, probably lameness. We see a lot of dogs come in lame, and lame is when they're, you see a dog limping, can't really put pressure on its, on its joints. It, it could be something, the dog was born with, or it could be something, just an injury. So that's unsafe to the dog. So that's disqualifying. aggressiveness. That's something else that we disqualify for. A dog that's human aggressive, that's aggressive towards the handler or the judge. Um, that's another thing that comes up now and then. And I'd say undershot. There's some really severely undershot dogs at times. Um, Things like that, I think, are the more severe issues.
Tony, explain to a newcomer how they want to have their show leads and or what's it called, the little chain link thing, the little thin one, show leads. What's the proper way for them to have it on their dog?
Proper way, the easiest way to explain it to someone is you want to form the letter P. Basically, when you hold it up, okay, you want to look at it. The leash, where the side that it goes on should be exactly like a letter P. It should always go to the left. So
okay, so like an upside down P.
Yes, if you're applying it on a dog, yes, it's an upside down P. But when you look at it, if you're setting it up and you look at it, you want your the chain coming down off to the left.
Off to the left, okay.
When you look at it like this, then when you apply it to the dog, yeah, it's upside down. And the reason for that is, you display your dog and you walk your dog on the left. It's like that with training also. So if you have it reversed and it's pulling, it's on the right side, what happens is you're pulling this way, it locks. So you choke your dog. You're not going to get a good response out of your dog. With the left, you're able to snap it and it releases. It releases. So, it should always go in to the left side.
Okay, and also you don't want them long neither. You don't want an extra long one, or do you think that those are better than actual show lead? Because now a lot of people are getting creative and they're making their braided show leads that go around the dog and it's just one long thing. Do you prefer one over the other?
Yeah, I don't like that. I personally don't use them. I like your traditional, like chain.
Right.
Leads, I like those. I like the nylon also show leads. Same thing as a chain, but instead of having a hook, a small leash to the chain, it's just one piece. It's one.
Right.
Those to me are very effective, and you don't want it super long. Like if you get a chain, you want the chain to fit around your dog's head very snug to where you got to put it on there. That way, because you don't want too much slack. If you're fiddling with having to pull too much slack, then you lose control of your dog.
Right. You always want to have control over, so as less possible, maybe an inch or two slack on that chain there, huh?
Yep.
There you go.
Hey, we got a question from Hector again. This is to everybody. What do you prefer, starting from a pup to grown? What are raw to kibbles? And what is your personal experience? What gave you the best results? So let me see if I understand what he's asking. I guess he's asking how you prefer to feed your puppies to grown dogs. Unless those are all separate questions. He wants to know what are raw to kibbles. Well, raw is basically a raw diet. That would be not just giving raw chicken and things like that. We discussed what raw diet is on the last episode. You can check that out and find out what raw is and what kibble is. I personally start all my puppies on raw as soon as they start eating. I blend it. I don't feed my puppies any puppy food. So they get all of the same food that my adult dogs get. Is just blended and it has the milk replacer added to it. But I start all my puppies on raw. I think I get better results on my puppies with the way they hold their weight, their stools, and just overall, just there's certain nutrients that you're not gonna get from kibble, no matter what type of kibble you feed. There's certain things, vitamins, minerals, and stuff like that that's in raw that you're not gonna get from kibble. And it's natural, the creatine and all of that stuff that's in the beef and stuff. So I feed all my dogs the same thing. What about you, Tom? What about you, Tom?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he dropped off.
He dropped off.
What about you, Jesus?
Hey, Suit, man, I'm not even gonna front, man. I feed them all kibble. Every now and again, I hook them up, man. There he goes. Tony's back on. I hook them up every now and then, with different raw blends. I feed a lot of, not a lot of it, but I feed, what's that shit? Is it Blue Ridge beef is what I feed from time to time. But, man, I just eat kibble and good old water, man. I don't do nothing special for them.
What about you, Tom? What's your feeding regimen like from?
It depends on the dogs. Since I have dogs that.
Speak up, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Speak up.
I'm screaming.
That mic is not as strong as your phone mic, so it sounds like you're real far away from it.
I wonder why, man. It can't be. I mean, it's not.
Are you covering the mic? Maybe you got the thing on your lap and you're covering it with your clothes?
Yeah, maybe. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Basically, I have some dogs that, have special needs because of their muscle. Those dogs are on a raw diet. I feed a beef and tripe diet, but it's complete. It's got organ, meat, and bone and all. And then I add an oil to it also. I think that raw is the way to go, but I have a good amount of dogs, and raw is very expensive. And just time consuming. So the rest get kibble. So I feed a good quality kibble to the rest. My pups, I've had pups on raw, started on raw. I think there's nothing better than a raw diet. I've had pups on a raw diet, and I can't even focus watching Jesse eat those donuts.
Hey, man, I'm on this. I'm gaining, or what do y'all call it?
Yeah, you're bulking season.
Bulking season, dog.
Bulking season.
I've had phenomenal results with the raw. I've done whole litters on a raw diet. Great results. I also add stuff. I'll always add Ultra 24 to my raw for the puppies. And then I've done kibble. For the kibble.
Speak up, Tom.
You can't hear me?
If you guys can't hear any of us, you need to let us know because
I'm screaming.
Recording like that.
Yeah, I'm
I want to
screaming.
make sure everybody can hear what we're saying. I was the culprit the last two shows, so now I gotta try to remember to speak up. But if you can't hear,
this is crazy. That's it. Is that better? Can you hear me good? Yeah. So,
Yeah, I can hear you.
all right, cool. I believe that for puppies, it's important. Diet is extremely important because we see in a bully breed, we see a lot of puppies developing rickets. It's where you start to see the legs bowing outward, and that's usually due to lack of vitamin D and calcium. And even some of the better foods, just for some reason, just lacking that. I always tell people, I get contacted by it's very common. So I get a lot of individuals contacting me when their pups get rickets, and I always suggest ProPlan puppy food, large breed. It's always done wonders. It's not the best food as far as because it has fillers and stuff, but whatever's in it will straighten out the rickets in no time. You're back to normal.
all right, buddy.
Yeah. I think he fell in the toilet.
God damn, my bad, y'all.
You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. My bad.
Yeah, that rickets. That's usually a calcium deficiency, vitamin D deficiency. That's easily corrected with food and sunlight. Don't give your dog calcium pills because it has to be dosed correctly, especially for puppies. All right. Okay.
I've given my dogs just when it's happened to the puppies, just Tums, dog. So is that Tums are bad for them? I've fixed it with just Tums.
The thing that's bad about giving Tums, it has calcium in it, but it's so you're gonna give your puppy an antacid, it's still an acid in the stomach, and you end up with digestive problems.
Oh, okay.
Hey Lawrence, they want you to check the video feed real quick because Brandy said on YouTube it's playing muted. So check it.
Oh no! And everybody, can you guys hear us? Let me know if you can hear us. Anybody?
Playing muted. Oh no!
Yeah, that would be.
And
really
Jesse, Sean said raise your hands over your head and you'll stop that coughing.
Yeah, see, they can hear us. Maybe it's her.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Hold on, let me check.
Like this, Sean?
Nah, it's on. That's her. That's on her end. She probably out there in the woods where she was at last time, where we kept seeing her frozen.
She was like this.
Look like. Yeah, we have another question from. Hold on, let me go back. Izzy Santiago wants to know. I guess this is to you, Tony. How do you deal with kink tails, or are you able to? I guess he meant breed it. I guess it's a typo. Are you able to? I guess it's for everybody. Are you able to breed it out of the dog? Yeah. He wants to know how we deal with kink tails, and are you able to breed it out?
Well, as far as myself, I do a lot of inbreeding in my program. I've never produced a dog with a kink in its tail. I don't have those issues, but I have known other breeders that have had issues, and I will tell you that people skip generations and then come right back, and it's actually really hard to breed out. Some people say it's really simple. I don't think they're talking just from what they heard, not from experience, because I'm telling you, I've known guys that have bred dogs, even some Amstaffs that were having some kinks, and I mean, they just kept coming back, just people battling them, generation after generation. So I don't think it's as easy as people think. You definitely have the good tails if you're doing right and trying to breed it out, but you always have that, that one or two, or maybe more than that. And what do you do when the best puppy out of the litter has a kink? So that's a possibility.
I've never produced a kink tail either. I produced a shorter tail. For me, if that's the best puppy, I'm probably gonna keep that puppy, and then whatever puppy I feel is second. Bam. Whatever puppy I feel is second to that, just as a backup. But I mean, I don't know. I can't really say. I never had a kink tail. So.
Man, I've had issues with it, and I ain't even gonna lie. I've dealt with it for a long time. And I've been close to people who've dealt with it for a long time. And like Tony said, that shit skips a generation. Get ready to have some tough skin, and people talk shit if you're going to keep it. It happens, man. It's hard to breed that shit out. I ain't even going to sit here in front. I bred a bitch who had she had a pigtail. It was like what do you call it? It was just a little curl. It looked like a letter C on her back, and it was twisted and shit. It didn't throw me not one. It didn't throw me a kink. I had two dogs, no kinks, no short tails. But that shit skips a generation. You get all happy and excited, man. I didn't get no kinks, but I guarantee you will get kinks. It's coming. It's coming, dog. So it's just something that if you're gonna deal with it, you got to deal with it and understand it's gonna be very hard to wash out. I've seen it for years, dog. 7, 8 years. Dealing with this blood and friends of mine who've had it before me and dealt with it. I've been real close with them. That shit ain't going nowhere. May skip some, especially when you're breeding it very bully into dogs who carry that heavy gene. There's a lot of dogs out here that carry that gene in this bully blood. A lot of them, and a lot of people, they used to cull or they used to sell them as pets. Now everybody's keeping those dogs as brood stock. I'm one of them. I'm one of the assholes that does that and has done that. So, no, you ain't getting rid of them kinks. Yeah, it might skip a generation, but you'll get them. So, shout out to the King Tails.
Hey, we got a good question. Shout out to Everton Mendoza out there in Florida. He's listening in. His question is there an alternative medication to give your dogs for heartworm that in the adult form without going to the vet and getting raped with? That's his question. With the vet fees that they charge to treat it. That's easy. Ivomec treats.
Ivomec.
I give Ivomec to people orally for intestinal parasites, and I give them a shot in the neck for heartworm or any like skin mites or anything like that. So there's 2 ways you can give Ivomec. Don't use Ivomec Plus. It's not safe for dogs. You want to use regular Ivomec. They sell it in Tractor Supply. It's a shot for cattle, but it's the same medication. All the medication that you go to your vet for, they have for sheep, cattle, chickens. They have all of the fish. It's the same medicine. It's not different. It's just dosed different on the package. So there's plenty of information on the internet on how to dose these things. If not, you can contact myself, Tony. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to use. It's a really small bottle. It costs about $40. It lasts a really long time, especially if you only have 1 or 2 dogs. You'll have it forever. It'll probably go bad before you use it all. I think it's like 3-year expiration date or 4 years, something like that. A shot in the neck for any skin parasites and heartworm, and orally for intestinal parasites for ivermectin.
Yes, it's actually the ivermectin 1% is what you want.
Yeah, it's right here. It comes in a box. It's not gonna come like this. It's gonna be in a box, but this is what it is.
We can't see it. Hey, L, go over a little bit. There you go.
This way it is.
Right there. The other way. Right there. To your right. There you go. Perfect.
It's an injection. Ivermectin is the active ingredient. So you just gotta buy needles when you buy it, because that's how you get it out of there. And you give an injection in the neck for heartworm and skin parasites. You extract it and take the needle off and give it orally. I like to mix it with other wormers only because it allows it to. It's a very small amount that you give them, so it gets absorbed in their mouth before it reaches their stomach. And I like for it to reach the stomach and go through the intestines, so I mix it with other wormers, so it's a higher volume of liquid that they're swallowing, and it makes it all the way to the stomach to ensure that you get all of the worms. So that's how I dose it. But to answer your question, Ivomec treats heartworm.
Yeah. I actually have a video that I just did on worming my puppies with ivermectin and parental palmate. I'm screaming.
Yes, I am Tony Gold. I am here to talk to you.
Hey, Tone, try to connect your Bluetooth so you don't got a screen. You can use the mic on your Bluetooth.
I don't even know how to do that.
We'll try it now. Wait till the next show.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. I have a video on how to worm the puppies with ivermectin and parental palmate. And it tells you a little bit about dosage. With the ivermectin 1% liquid, what you want to do is the dosage is 0.1 of a cc or of a milliliter, which is 1/10 of a milliliter for every 10 pounds. So every little line you see on like a 3 cc syringe, every one of the little lines, that's 1/10. That's 0.1. So for every 10 pounds of dog's body weight, you want to give one of those lines. So if you have a 50-pound dog, okay,
a full cc.
You know, it's hard to overdose on, so you don't have to worry. You can go a little heavy. I usually go a little bit heavy. I go like 0.1 heavy on whatever the dog is, just so you have a little extra because, like Lauren says, some gets wasted a little bit. And that's about it. So if you have a 90-pound dog, you just give one whole cc. That's fine. You can give a whole cc, and that'll do it. You got it. The key is you have to follow up on the initial worming. You have to follow up in exactly 2 weeks, because if you're worming just once a month, what happens is you allow worms develop in stages. So, and certain wormers can't kill the eggs. So you got to get it in stages. So it's important that you worm every 2 weeks with most wormers, and then especially pups. The pups, we start worming at 2 weeks of age, and when we do 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the sooner the better, because you stop the worms from developing, and worms could cause anemia. They really take a lot of time. Our pups
Breaking up, Tom. Hold on a second, please. Yes, yeah. Go ahead now.
Yeah. So if you wonder why our pups always look real thick and healthy, it's because we make sure that they're parasite free. We start early. We start before they really start to infest the puppies. And you have to worm the mothers also. So I mean, since we're on the subject, I'll tell you, if you don't worm the mothers and you're only worming the puppies are getting infected. So.
Can you worm?
I don't worm my dogs that often. I worm my puppies 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks, and then I worm them maybe every 2 months. See, my dogs are inside. Tony's dogs are outside, so he worms his dogs a lot more because they come in contact with a lot more stuff that they can catch parasites from. I keep my dogs inside, so I don't worm as much. If you use, I change up wormers too, because if you use the same wormer over and over and over, the worms can become immune to it.
Right.
So you don't want to worm your dog unless you know they have parasites. That's how I do it. If you're just feeding them, the wormer, and they don't actually have parasites, then the worms become immune to it. So that's why I switch up, and that's why I mix wormers together. I'll mix Safeguard goat wormer with the ivory, or I'll mix Safeguard goat wormer with the parental pomade. I'll mix them together and I'll give it to them, and that way, they get in 2 different medicines, 2 different medicines. So it's not, you can't overdose them on it. It's 2 different ingredients. So that's how I do it, and just blast them out. Then the Ivomec, my next time worming them, I'll treat them with the Ivomec alone. I also do Corid. Corid is it's for coccidia. I do Corid like once a month.
Make sure my truck turns off.
All my dogs Corid in their water. That's for coccidia.
I'll call you in a little bit once I get up there.
Go ahead, Tom.
I think we touched base. I don't worm every 2 weeks.
What you doing, baby?
Just initially. If your dog.
Oh shit.
Jesse.
Ready to become the greatest villain of all time.
Hey Jesse, you might want to mute your mic.
Hey.
Presentation of Despicable Me is coming up next.
My bad. My fault. I walked in the room. They had to raid the TV on.
Fire. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, can everybody else hear me? Is it just Lawrence that can't hear me?
Now I can hear you. It might have been he was drowning you out with that noise from the TV.
Damien, can you hear me or
The noise from Jesse's mic is kind of drowning you out. You're up and down, so that's why I was saying Jesse might want to mute his mic when he's moving around because his beard is hitting the mic.
Oh shit! What? Goddamn! Hold up.
That's it. Like.
What about now? Can you hear me clear?
Yes.
All right. So I'm talking lower than I was before. So all right. So I don't worm my dogs every 2 weeks. All right. I just initially, if a dog is infested, with worms, you have to follow up every 2 weeks, and I do that. I do 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that again. and then you're good. And then you can go back to every month or every 2 months. But like Lawrence said, you want to switch up between wormers. That's what I do. You can use Drontal, it's the generic form of Drontal Plus, or Rantal Palmoate. I mean, there's a bunch of different stuff. So that's about it. We have any more questions?
Yeah, I actually have a Facebook question,
Okay, go
and
ahead.
this will go to all three of you guys. Basically, she describes that she bought a puppy a couple months ago and she's unhappy with the puppy. The puppy's not turning out as she hoped it would. How do you guys do? What are you guys unhappy customer policy, and do you guys allow returns and refunds?
Well, I'll explain this. Nothing is guaranteed in life. Okay? So I do stand behind my dogs 100% as far as health and temperament, any kind of genetic disorders. It all depends. If I sell you a show quality dog, now you got to realize if you're wanting a guarantee on a dog to turn out, okay, to be a top dog, then you're going to be in a whole different price bracket. I'll give a guarantee with a puppy, but I mean, all you have to do is look at my production record, and you can see I produce dogs on a pretty consistent level. So that's one thing you have to do, is do your homework. A lot of people are focused on a color. They get sold into the hype, or they have a certain amount. I have people contact me, well, I only have $1,000 I can't spend. Well, I'm probably not going to have what you're looking for, for $1,000. So they just settle. And that one thing you cannot do is don't settle. Do your research. Look at the consistency of what the previous litters, what that breeder has produced in the past, how they've turned out as adults. And then you can kind of see and you get a basic idea of what kind of dog you're getting. But the main thing is most people aren't consistent because they don't practice selective breeding. So you're not going to get a consistency. There's only a few puppies that turn out of a litter with
Breaking up, Tom.
those breeders.
You're feedbacking again, Jesse.
I'll answer that also. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, good. All right, you're good now.
Yeah, you was all broken up, so I just took off. I agree with everything he said. Also, the customer has a lot of responsibility also, though, because like he said, if you know what the price range of these dogs are, trying to find the cheapest dog is not going to get you the quality of dog that you want. So,
and vice versa also, though, Law. Tell them.
Right. So, I mean, also as a breeder, I won't make a guarantee on something that I can't guarantee. So if I make a guarantee on a puppy and it doesn't turn out like that, which anybody that's bought puppies from me that I was unsure about, they know I've told them if the puppy doesn't turn out the way I explained to you, then let me know. And if I feel like it's a legitimate reason, then I'll work with y'all, make sure you get what you want. If you're telling me, because I have a lot of customers that hit me up and tell me what type of puppy they're looking for as far as looks and temperament. So if I take on that challenge to be able to provide that for them and that's not what they get, then of course I'm going to work with them. But I don't make promises unless I'm sure about it. So I mean, it depends, and also whatever agreement you have with that person when you purchase that puppy, then it is what it is. If that wasn't something that you discussed with them when you bought the puppy, that if the puppy doesn't turn out a certain way, what are they willing to do for you, then you can't turn around and get in your feelings now after buying a puppy and seeing that. Part of that is your responsibility to cover yourself, whether doing your homework on that breeder or making sure that you have a conversation or some type of paperwork that says that if it's not what I asked for, what's going to happen.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and I'm not going to read all of the follow-up question because the name's a kennel.
People asked me questions a long time ago, and I didn't answer them yet. Brian LeBlanc said, I'm about to put my boy on Raw, but he has never had Raw before. Any suggestions on how to introduce it? We discussed that in the last one, but I'll touch on it. Real slow, a little bit at a time, because they'll get this black diarrhea. They're going to get it anyway, so don't be afraid when you see it. Anytime you give your dog raw meat, especially red meat, that's what happens as their stomach and the bacteria changes over. So when you feed the raw, just do it slow. Add a little bit to their normal food and just increase it. You know, over the few days, maybe do 2 days of the same amount, and then add a little more until you reach the amount that you want to have their food mixed to, and then you know they should be good. But it only takes like a week and a half for their stomach to transition over and they get used to it. And also, oh, go ahead, Tom.
No, I'll tell you how I do it with the raw. Just the song, you want to just switch over? I'm screaming. Can everybody else hear me?
Barely. Barely.
Damien, can you hear me?
You broke up for a second, but now you're back clear.
Yeah, but I'm clear. I think it's something wrong with your mic, homie.
I think you're not clear. You're just not loud. You sound
You're going out too on my end. Your voice goes.
Yeah, that's this cheaper behind mic. I'm gonna go buy me a new camera, 1080, but it better.
So, I mean, I'm screaming. So, anyway, if you don't have to mix it with kibble, I suggest that if you don't want to mix it with whatever you were feeding before, and mix it half and half, what you can do is go get yourself some pumpkin in a can in the baking section of the store. That helps stop diarrhea and upset stomachs. So, also rice. You could cook a half a cup of rice and mix it in with the raw, until you get started, and that'll harden up the stools also. So that's just another option I wanted to throw out there.
Okay. Okay, so we did that one. We got Callie said, I couldn't find. Okay, my question's about food again. With a pregnant female, what have y'all found to be the most beneficial food to feed? If raw, do you add anything to it? That's a good question too. Thank you, Callie. My pregnant females, I don't really feed them puppy food like everybody else does. I feed them their regular diet. I just increase it. After they have their puppies, some dogs won't eat it, but I add Ultra 24 to their meals. Some of the females won't eat it for some reason when they have puppies. If they don't eat it, then I give them vanilla ice cream, plain vanilla ice cream. The cream and the milk and the ice cream, it makes the milk thicker and more rich. And puppies draw a lot of calcium from their mothers. Drinking milk, you know, production, it draws calcium off of your bitches. So I give a lot of chicken quarters while they're nursing for the calcium from the bones, but you don't want to overdo it. And also, a lot of people find that their females won't eat when they first have their puppies, and that's because they're afraid to leave their puppies, and they're also afraid that they're eating their puppies, they get confused. So I put my bowl inside the whelping box and let them eat in there. I don't try to make them come out and eat. I see a lot of people do that. They try to make their dogs come out and eat, and they won't eat, and they wonder why their bitches lose so much weight. I just feed them in the whelping box. Tony, you want to touch that?
Yeah, I mean, you want to feed a quality food. I've done the raw diet before with my pregnant females. I also add Ultra 24, or I also add something that's much better. It's expensive, but it's a product called Nurture. It's made by Canine Nutrition International. One of the best products. Canine Nutrition International makes by far the best supplements for dogs. So they make a product called Nurture. It's a mix of all my females, all my pregnant bitches, and all my pups. But it is expensive. It's about $100 a bag, and you'll go through several bags. Where the Ultra 24 does its job, you're spending about $25-$30, and it's good. You get good results. So that's that. If you don't feed raw, just feed a good kibble. You want to put your female on a good puppy kibble, you know, and you know, you also mix in the Ultra 24 for added nutrients, and that's about it. You know, sometimes I'll add egg. You know, I'll give my bitches organic eggs in their food with the shell and everything, and I just add it. But there's a fine.
My dogs will
Sorry?
not eat eggshells at all.
Yeah, some dogs won't. No, you're right. Some dogs won't. But there's a trick to that. You know, like
Grind it up. You gotta dry them out and then crush them up.
dry them out. You bake them, and you just you break the eggs up. You could break a bunch of eggs in a container, just to store them in your fridge, and then you take all the eggshells and you bake them just for a little bit in the oven, and then they just crumble, and you crush them up, and usually the dogs will eat that. And eggshells are very good for dogs. The key is, I think the mistake that a lot of breeders make, and especially in the bully breed that have broad shoulders and have big heads, we're already facing the problems of our bitches needing C-sections. And when you're overfeeding the females and you're just letting them eat like whatever they want, then they tend to get obese. The puppies grow really large, and then they have a hard time pushing them out. So unless you plan on getting a C-section, there is a science and a method to feeding. You want to increase the food gradually. I increase a bitch's food at about 4 weeks in to her pregnancy.
You also want to make sure that that the calcium 2 weeks before they give birth. You don't want to keep feeding them high doses of calcium, because it stops them from contracting when they give birth.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you're
wait until they're in labor and then give them the calcium if they're having problems. But if you give them too much calcium 2 weeks before they give birth, it won't let them contract the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, and unless you're supplementing with something or giving added calcium, if you're doing like a Ultra 24 or eggshells, I don't think you're going to have a problem with the calcium. But he's right. You don't want to overload. You don't want to be giving your dog something you don't really know. You don't really know about. So just don't supplement just with calcium tabs or anything like that. Anything else?
Yeah. I have a different question. Basically, the dog won't eat wormer. What's some tricks to get your dog to go ahead and eat the wormer?
What kind of wormer?
Let me see.
Well, it doesn't say, but listen, okay. The key is, I mean, any wormer, you don't want to mix in with the food. The wormer, you want to go directly in the back of the throat. So whether it's a tab or whether it's a paste or a liquid, you want to put it in the back of the throat, and then you hold the dog's mouth closed till it dissolves and goes down the chute.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. That's a good thing about live video. Come here, boss. The syringe, when it's full, some dogs, they're going to fight you. Just put them between your legs and hold them like this. They can't move nowhere. And then you take the syringe and you put it in the corner of their mouth, behind their tongue, and you squeeze it, and then you hold their head up like this, and they'll swallow it. They can't spit it out. You just let him go, he's going to spit it all over the place. So after you put it in, right in the corner. See how he can't push it out? If I put it here, he can push it out with his tongue. If I push it here in the corner of his mouth, right behind his tongue, he can't push it out. And you squeeze it right in there, and then you just rub him like this, and he'll swallow it.
Thank you, Lars. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice, very nice.
Okay, Shaka Zulu wants to know if you can worm a whelping female. Yes. The only thing is dangerous to give your whelping females is antibiotics. If you're giving antibiotics because the female has an infection of some kind, you want to substitute probiotics for the puppies, because they'll lose the bacteria that helps them digest their food from the antibiotics. So you want to be careful with that. And also, don't give your puppies tetracycline. I see somebody do that. It'll change their teeth to yellow, and it won't come out. So don't do that.
Yeah. Are you done at Lawrence? Or all right. Worming is safe for females, but it all depends on the type of wormer you're using. all wormers are not safe for pregnant or nursing bitches. So the ivermectin, those are two very safe wormers. That's why they're my wormers of choice. So I use those.
Get the goat worm and the pregnant bitches too.
Which one?
The same girl.
Goat wormer. That's the family.
Oh, I didn't hear
Or that
you.
Panicure.
Yes,
Panicure.
I didn't hear
That's Panicure. What you're talking about? Panicure, I believe, is safe also. But you got to realize when you give it to the mother, even with nursing puppies, it's passing through into the milk also. So that's something you got to consider. But you want to go with the safe wormers. Some wormers are not safe for pregnant females or nursing bitches. So, but yes, it is safe if you use the right.
I see people only treat their dogs for worms and they forget about coccidia. And I'm gonna say it again, Corid, C-O-R-I-D. You can buy it in Tractor Supplies for cows. I sprinkle that. I empty it in here because it gets all over the place, but it's a powder. No, we not trapping. This is a powder. It's Corid. You take just a pinch of it and you sprinkle it in their water. I do that.
Whoa, buddy.
You want to be careful because when your females go outside, and they drag their titties on the ground and the grass and shit like that, they pick up coccidia cells and shit like that on their breasts. So you want to clean your female's teats off when she comes from outside, and you want to treat her for coccidia also because your puppies will get it. A lot of people think it's parvo and it's not. It's coccidia and it's real easy to get rid of. So it's not easy to get rid of if you go to the vet. This is what they give you. When you go to the vet, I didn't get it from a vet. I got it from an Amish food dealer out here in Pennsylvania. But this is what they give you. This stuff takes forever to get rid of coccidia. It's real sticky. The puppies hate it, especially if it's what percentage is the one you had, Tom?
Of what?
That
12.5.
And I think this one is like 5%. So it's real sweet. And so you have to give a lot of it. It gets all over the puppies. So I don't use this. I take the Corid and I'm mixing Giardia. What's the pill for the Giardia? Fish Flex? No, not Fish Flex. Fish taste. No, that's for tapeworm.
Fish Zol.
Fish Zol. I crush up the Fish Zol pills. And I mix it with the Corid, put distilled water in it, and I give it to all my puppies, and then I treat my female too in her water outside. Any questions, Damien?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Tony, they say you're coming in loud and clear on YouTube, so it must just be the conversation.
I got a dashboard here. I put his volume up.
Oh, you're sabotaging me, man.
Set a certain way for everybody and set the same way, but I turned yours all the way up.
Yeah,
okay, Izzy says.
Say thank you.
Izzy says, in you guys' opinions, what's some of the bloodlines you've seen work well together?
I'll let Tom touch that.
What bloodlines work well together?
Can't see you, Tom.
You can't see me.
Now we can.
Yeah, from your experience, name some bloodlines you've seen that go well together?
I think I touched base on this the other day. Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Oh, he clicked off. All right. Okay. I got it. Yeah, I thought I went out. It all depends because, like I said, you have bloodlines, but they develop into different strains. I mean, you can have essentially the same blood or the same dogs a couple generations back as the next man, but your dog has taken on completely different characteristics and a completely different look. So it's hard to say just a bloodline because, like Razor's Edge, I mean, you can look at my Razor's Edge dogs and look at the next man, let's just say Lawrence's. Lawrence's dogs are different than my dogs, and we both run Razor's Edge blood. So different breeders breed for different things. But I've personally had success with Edge and Gaff being crossed. Gaff gives you a real healthy dog. You get really good movement out the dogs. You know, they're intelligent. I think it's a real good combination. As far as bullying is, some of the Gotti strains. I mean, there's so many strains of Gotti, man, and you know, in the bully world, they're paper hung. So you see so many different looks, especially with the Gotti blood. You know, it all depends on the individual breeders, man. You know, any outcrosses are good if you have a consistency. Essentially, you want to take a line and you want to breed it for the traits, line breed it or inbreed it, and you get what you consider close to the complete package. And then you have another line, okay, for, you know, your outcross that's bred and has its characteristics, and then you bring them together, you get the best results. You know, you get bone, muscle, head, because you bring in vigor. And, you know, when you inbreed and line breed, you lose vigor. Okay? When you outcross, you gain vigor. So through inbreeding and line breeding, times you lose the head size. Still might have a nice head, but you lose head size, you lose muscle, you lose bone. But then you take a dog and you go out, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's an explosion. You get the best of both worlds. And you bring it right back. And that's called vigor.
Me, like I said earlier, I tend to. It would have to depend on the specimen as far as bloodline, because you got good and bad specimens and all bloodlines. You know, you can find shitty dogs and really nice dogs in all bloodlines. Then you gotta realize some of these bloodlines you're dealing with are not even true bloodlines. So I think it all depends on the specimens, doing, you know, correct outputs and
right.
You know, stuff like that.
Number one thing, like you said, the specimen, the dog itself, the two dogs that you're breeding are the most important thing. I agree.
Oh,
Who's this? Jay Horse. Jay Horse, thank you, man. He said Boston total demonstration like a champ. He's one hell of a good boy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's my buddy, man. He's a real good dog, man. Smart, real gentle. He takes a lot, especially from my son. You're welcome, Callie. Yeah, he's good. Shaka Zulu asked a question earlier. I missed it. He wants to know, in your opinion, does king tails affect showing? I think that would be better for Tony to explain.
I mean, it's simple, yes.
Right.
It's written in standard. It's written in the standard, so it's a flaw. And depending on the severity of the tail, it could be disqualifying. So, yes, it definitely affects it.
Any questions, Damien?
yeah, I actually got a couple. One of them is, what's some of the programs that you guys respect what they're producing and what they're contributing to the bully community?
Repeat that. I was reading. I'm sorry.
What are some of the programs that you guys respect what they're producing and respect what they're doing with within the bully community?
Speaking for myself, I respect everybody. I mean, I have a respect for everybody in the community. As far as programs go, I mean, there's a lot of programs that I think that people that have really nice programs produce really nice dogs, but everybody has their own style, you know. So, I mean, I think as long as you producing, well, the question was who? I can't think of nobody off the top of my head. That would be something that I would have to really think about.
Yeah.
Program-wise, with just so many people that you see every day, and that's not something that you really think about. But Kino has a really good program. Mike Redefine got a really nice program. Tony got a real nice program. I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of people that
It is. It's hard to say. Like you said, I mean, we could name a bunch of people that we respect. Usually, the people that you respect, you kind of end up developing a relationship with or doing breedings with, because they have the same vision, or you see that they have something unique in their program. Like Lawrence said, I respect a lot of people. I can't say a lot, but anyone that's doing right by the breed, that has a vision, that isn't just a fly by night switching blood every other week and going with fads. Someone that's not ripping people off and throwing the wool over their heads, because that is going on a lot, and that's one thing that I'm really against and I fight for. But that's basically it. If you're doing the right thing, man, and you're looking to create a better dog, I respect you 100%. If you're breeding strictly for money, I don't respect you. That's it. You're not doing nothing. You're just chasing. There's a lot of guys that chase the most popular dogs out there just to do a breeding. They have no vision as far as putting two dogs together. They're just chasing the most popular studs because they know they're going to get top dollar for their puppies because everyone's chasing a fad at the moment. I don't respect people like that. I'm sorry.
Right. I agree. Definitely agree. I mean, but when I say we respect everybody, I mean as people, you whether you agree with what somebody's doing or not, you still have to show them a level of respect, as long as they respect you and, things like that. But as far as programs go, I mean, there's only a few programs that I could say that I have, that when I look at them, like, I'm really like, wow, like, I really like their dogs. And like I said, it's Kino and, trying to think of somebody. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna make a list of the programs that I really like. And we need each other. I see a lot of guys that's so selfish about giving them information and showing love to different people, but you don't realize if you consider a top breeder and you're trying to keep everything for yourself, you're not trying to help other people or guide other people, right, it just makes it harder for yourself, because a lot of times I'm looking for females to add to my program. Right now, as a breeder, I mean, you're supposed to run your own males. Every now and then you're supposed to go outside, but I like to bring in females from outside and use my males. So it's hard to find the type of females I'm looking for because only certain people have them, and those people know what they have, and they want to charge crazy amounts of money for the females. It's just harder for everybody. So if you're a breeder and you help the next man to create dogs just as nice as yours, then that's a person that you can go and get a nice female from to add to your program.
Hey, Lawrence, I'll sell you my black bitch for 50 G's. You're ready for that.
Man, she's a bad bitch. But they both nice, but I like the black one better.
Yeah, I do. I like the black one better, too.
I'm about to bring Brandy in before she kill me. Brandy, I'm going to bring you in for a few, and then I don't want to get it crowded on here. I'm going to bring Andy in, and then if Marcellus is watching and he still wants to get in, I'm going to bring him in.
Yeah.
And then we'll shut it down and maybe. We still got a lot of views. If y'all want to keep going, we could do it for another hour.
Whew, I may have to I don't know. I might have to hop off. I mean, I'd love to be on. I got so much stuff, so much work to do. But I want to touch base real quick, man, on what we were talking about, since we're talking about breeders and respect. One thing, and I know you'll probably agree with me, Law, you're somebody that shows love, man. We're not in competition with anybody. We pave our own path, our own road, and I'm somebody that likes to set the bar and set it high. And I show everybody, respect and love, especially in social media on Facebook. But one thing, you see a lot of these popular breeders, they will not show anybody any love. You see these guys that are popular, that have these top studs, they only show love to people with their blood, They don't want to say. They'll tell you, they'll inbox you and be like, oh, man, your program is this, oh, that, do you have anything for sale? But in the public's eye, they will not hit like, they will not comment on your photo, and we have a community filled with individuals like that, man. And I think it's sad because there is such competition. They're chasing that money. I'm not worried about that, man. Success will come. You stay consistent, you do what you love, the money comes.
does. It took me a long time.
But you got to work hard.
It definitely, and that's what it's about. Back in the days, it was easier because you didn't have social media. It wasn't as many breeders. There wasn't as much competition. But now, I mean, there's so many breeders out here. There's so many shysters out here doing all this craziness with the Photoshop and even the new video app they got with the bubbles in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Not that much of the screen, so they keep the dog right here, and he just looks really wide and stretched out and all of that. So you got so much competition nowadays, man. You have to do things to stand out. You got to work hard and make yourself stand out above other breeders just to get people to pay attention to you. You know. You know. Damien, any more questions?
Yeah, actually, you kind of just touched on the next question I have. But he said he's new to the bully world, looking to make some noise. What's some of the things he could do to get his kennel noticed? Basically, I guess he wants to know what are some of the marketing things, which, Lawrence, you have a whole room full, so you probably could just show him.
I mean, you got to invest in yourself, first of all. Well, first, you got to learn the breed, learn what is in demand, and learn how to
Invest in your program. You know.
Well, if you knew you don't have a program, so just starting, you want to know what's if you're trying to be a breeder or you're trying to be a pet owner. If you're trying to be a breeder and get in the bully game and be a show guy and do all of this, you got to know what's in demand. What's in demand is all that's going to sell. That's first of all. Then you wanna interact. You want to build relationships with people. You want people to know who you are. You don't want to wait until you got puppies on the ground and try to jump on Facebook and think that people are going to be swarming all over your post. They're going to pass by your post like it's not even there. So you want to interact. You want to build relationships. You want to talk to people. You want to be honest about what you have in your yard. You want to know that in this game, you're not going to have success with breeding quality dogs and the dogs that are in demand by being cheap and thinking you're going to go and spend $500 to $1,000 and buy a dog. And the breeders are going to tell you that, but that's not what it is. I've done it. I did it 6 times before I learned my lesson. Some people do it more than that. So, you know, that. And then after you establish the relationships, you want to brand yourself. I get logos made professionally. You got to spend the money to do it. So once you do that, then you got to brand yourself and make sure that when anybody sees this, they know what it is. Anybody sees this logo, they know what this is. Even if this wasn't here, you would still know what this is because you've seen it enough everywhere all over the internet. You don't need to see my name. You know who that is already. So that's what branding is. You want it's like Pepsi. You know what the Pepsi circle is with the red and the blue, even if you don't see the word Pepsi. So that's what branding is. You want to brand yourself, and you want to invest in yourself. You want to spend money. You don't want to be cheap. You know, you want to get business cards made. So when you out in public with your dog and people are asking you questions about your dog and you're telling them you a breeder, you're not telling them, hey, take my number down. They don't want to stand there and go through their phone and open up their phone and take your number down. You want to be able to hand them a card with your logo on it, with your information on it, so they can get in contact with you. I need to get my Facebook and my Instagram added to my cards, but you want to spend the money. Don't get cheap cards that's white on the back because somebody will write somebody's number down on it, or they'll write something down on it and they'll throw it in the trash. So you can't write on my cards. It's double-sided. You know, you want to spend the money on that. You want to, when you go out to the shows, you want to have stuff like pictures. You want to have a nice banner. I got 2 banners. I don't just do one. I got signs made. I got shirts. I got emblems. I showed these the last time, but those back to the film. FW Spielberg, shout out FW Spielberg. His wife makes these emblems. Yeah. Make sure my camera's down. She made these. This was my first logo that I have made. Everybody knows what that logo is. Everywhere. Anywhere time I go to a show, people know. They see that and oh man, I've been following you because they know this logo. They don't know me. They know me now because I'm doing the videos, but the people that don't know me, when they see this, they know who I am because they see it enough. It's like that song that plays 20 times a day on the radio. over and over and over that you hate, but you know the words to it because they play it all the time. So that's how you want to brand yourself. You want to put yourself in people's face all the time. But you have to have the quality and the product to stay relevant. People might pay attention to you if you're doing all of that and you get the good look, but you want to hold their attention with the quality of your product. This is something else. Guy named Tool Addiction. Guy named Tool Addiction out in Florida made this one. You know, it lights up, just the etched out part. You know, he made that for me. I paid over $200 to get it. And that's how you do it, man. Don't stay stagnant and wait. You sitting around and nobody knows who you are until you got puppies and then you're on Facebook trying to pump your puppy. People want to scroll right past them.
Okay. I guess he wants a follow-up question. Who were some of you guys' mentors when you first entered the bully game?
Tony, you want to go first?
I mean, I didn't
Hey, Randy.
really have any mentors in a bully game. Uh, their blood, that's something than a mentor. A mentor would have to be somebody that would be able to teach me something, you know? And really, I came from another breed, so I know a lot more than most bully breeders because I'm just well versed. I started with AKC Akitas. My mentor was a top AKC judge, Betty Krug. So, you know, she taught me what I knew about canine anatomy. And then I learned the other things through you know, experience and showing dogs and working with them and working dogs. And so I really didn't have any mentors in the bully breed.
Myself, when I came in, I came in at a time when nobody wanted to help you at all. So everything that I learned, I had to learn the hard way. You know, these breeders don't want you to know the people that they know. They don't want you to know, have any contacts. They want everything that you do, you have to go through them, you know, and they're only going to give you a limited amount of information. That's how it was when I came in, and I wanted to be the opposite of that. So everybody that knows me, that I'm friends with on Facebook, knows. Everybody hits me up, and I don't hold nothing back because I'm not worried about competition. Not that there is none, or not that there's not people that have better dogs, and there's people out there that do have better programs, better dogs than me, but they're not willing to help. I'm not worried about the competition because I'm secure in what I'm doing and I'm trying to get better, and I'm going to do that regardless of whether I help somebody or not, regardless of whether you're in competition with me or not, because your followers is your market. So no matter how much competition someone else is, as far as what they have, you have your people that follow you. That's your market. There's people that's gonna ride with you no matter what, just because of the way they like the way you do things and things like that. So the competition is always there, but you shouldn't worry about it. If you spend too much time worrying about what somebody else is doing and what they got in their yard and how much money they making and what they not doing and you can't concentrate on yourself and getting better. So concentrate on yourself. Learn as much as you can, man. Find somebody to attach yourself to that's really willing to help you and give you the real deal and not just trying to get your money. Don't go, you know, with the first person that's trying to help you and then they turn around and try to sell you something. You know, if they really want to help you, they're going to help you whether you buy something or not.
What about you, Brandon?
I hate to sound biased or anything, but you guys are the only guys that I've actually ever spoke to about dog education and stuff with this breed. So I have to say that Law, Tony, Miss Jen, and Antonio McClenny are my mentors in this because you guys have always answered every question I've ever asked. You guys have given me a lot of guidance and everything, and Law, I know you helped me out with a medical situation with my dog last year, and you know, everybody else that I had spoke to didn't want to help me out or nothing. So I mean, you guys.
You know what? That's a good thing. Tell them what happened with that dog.
Uh, I'm trying to actually remember which dog it was. Oh yeah, it was technically wasn't my dog, it was my friend's dog, and the dog actually pulled through, but it's I believe it was a stomach issue. Um, Something about the stomach. She couldn't keep food down or something like that, I believe is what the issue was. I don't really remember. I know I asked you questions about a health concern for a friend of mine's dog, but I sent her the link that you sent me of all the information and all of our text in between to her, and she gave me a feedback and said that the dog was better, that she had done everything that you had suggested to do, and the dog recovered pretty well. So you know you helped me help someone else, but I also learned in the process as well. But yeah, you guys have been my mentor since day one, basically. But yeah,
That's what it's about.
I appreciate it though.
Reaching out, man. A lot of breeders, they don't want to help. They don't, and then when you do business with them, after they get you money, they're not wanting to spend any more money, then they
Yeah.
don't grab it. So just be careful who you spend your money with, and that's where your following comes in. Because when people respect you and trust you, that's way more important than trying to get over on somebody this one time, because that person will never spend money with you. I have people that have bought several dogs from me. Their families have bought dogs from me because of the way I do business. My man Matt Pete, and he bought 3 dogs from me in less than a year. Because he respects the way I do business, like the way I treated him, and he likes the quality of the dogs that I sold him. So
No.
that to me is way more important than all of the photoshopping and all of that. That stuff only gets you so far. And once people realize what you're doing, then they stop messing with you. And now you have to find a new skill. You just right from the beginning and move forward from there, you won't have any problems.
Hmm. Well, I've been taking notes, guys, so I hope you guys are proud of me. But I also I have some questions too that I was writing down, because every time I would try to type to you guys, it would turn off the YouTube thing. I don't know how to type to you. I was typing to Damien
You're breaking up real bad. You're breaking up real bad, Brandon.
the Hangout.
You're breaking up real bad, Brandon. All right, Damien, you got any questions over there?
Yeah, I guess this question is to me. I do not have any bully dogs right now, but one thing I can tell you, well, it's sort of a marketing question, and I can actually speak about marketing because it's part of my job in real life. But the only 2 principles you need to make yourself aware of in marketing, honestly, is brand recognition and brand equitability. Meaning, basically, like Lawrence just said, if you see a logo with no other information, can you recognize that brand? And building off of that, what does that brand mean when it comes to consumers spending money? Meaning like Pepsi or Coke. If somebody sees the Coke logo, if that logo is more enticing, they're more likely to buy Coke than an off-brand cola, basically just for basic principles. So with that in mind, those are really the only 2 key principles of business you need to kind of concern yourself with in the bully community, because you're actually, you're selling dogs, you're not selling computers or anything that you need to be too detailed with. So hopefully that answered your question. And then the other question is, how close are you guys to making your complete bully, since you guys have well-established programs, have been in the bully game for years? What do you think you need to add to your program to complete the vision?
Go ahead, Tom.
You first. Well, I don't know. I think that it's a constant challenge if you're trying to do the right thing. As the breed of adjustments, I mean, I have some dogs that I'm very satisfied with, but there's tweaks that I would like to make where I think they could use improvement. So, I mean, it's an ongoing battle. I don't think you ever produced a perfect dog. I mean, I think I have some dogs that are damn near pretty nice, and I've produced some really nice monster dogs that have really great structure on top of that, with great temperaments and healthy. But I think any breeder strives to produce something a little better. I know myself, I'm never happy. Every little thing drives me crazy. I feel like I didn't do my job. I feel like my dogs are never good enough. Some days I'm not. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But then people see my dogs and they're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? They're amazing. So I think if you're a perfectionist and you strive for perfection, you're never going to be happy.
Me, I think I need. I want to work on my heads a little more. The shape of my head a little more. Not really the size. I mean, the size is there. And I want to work on my rears a little better, which is what I've been doing. Once I get all of that straightened out, then I'll start inbreeding. I haven't done any inbreeding or non-breeding yet, just for that reason. I want to get more close to the look that I'm looking for. I got my height locked down that I want. I got the bone in the body locked down that I want. Um, I want to work on my heads more and my rears. I hear the tone buzz.
You're back, Brandy. We can hear you now.
Oh, you can't hear Brandy. Oh, I turned my thing off because it was making loud.
Hear me?
There we go.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to touch base on some things that you guys were talking about earlier. I think like one of the first subjects that you guys were on was about, do both dogs play a role in the breeding? In my opinion, I believe they do, because if you really look at it, most of these people who have all these stud dogs are always talking about stud approved to select females, stud approved to, approved bitches. I mean, if the female doesn't bring something to the game, then why would it need to be a select few of approved bitches to be bred to their stud? I believe that both ends bring, something to the table that can either contradict each other or they can either help each other. So, I mean, on that, I think both sides really go well with each other. You have to look at the stud, you have to look at the female, you have to see what the female and stud can bring to the table and what you are willing to allow to be a flaw that you think that you can possibly either breed out or that you can make it not as noticeable anymore, as far as that goes. But I do have a question though, like what is one of y'all's biggest pet peeves in the bully community?
As far as, I mean,
As far as anything, like my biggest pet peeve is people breeding dogs without papers. That is my biggest pet peeve. Don't sit there and sell hopes and dreams of this dog that's a gorgeous dog, but you know that it has no papers. And then tell people, oh, well, when it's a year old, then you can register it with the UKC because they still have that available right now. That to me is unfair.
yeah.
Well, that's not something new. That's been going on in registries for years. That's how they keep new blood coming in and stuff like that. That's called opening the books. My biggest pet peeve will probably be people putting up posts. A lot of times when I skip past a post, sometimes it's because the caption on the post won't match the dog, and that's a big pet peeve of mine when people say, look at the bone, or look at the head, and look at this, and that
Yeah.
takes the hell out of me.
I got toothpicks. You got toothpicks for legs. Got toothpicks for legs, man. They be like the bone.
I see that a lot, and I don't want to say nothing, like, I put up that picture of that dog the other night with the long neck because I never seen nothing like that. I thought it was hilarious. But I don't want to bash nobody's dog or nothing like that. But I think that a lot of people don't really realize what bully is, because I see dogs that look really skinny, tall, really staffy, and they'll be talking about all this bone and these 25-inch heads and things like that, and these dogs don't look anything like what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest pet peeve.
Mine is mine's same thing, but I'm gonna tell you my biggest pet peeve is the lying on the stats. You know, 16 inches, 100 pounds, 26.5-inch head, that kind of stuff. Also, the photoshopping, man. The photoshopping I can't stand. You know, it's just another way of lying and pulling the wool over everyone's head. You know, um, that's just about it, man. I mean, I can go on for days. You know, but those are two that really bother me.
Damien, how about you?
The only pet peeve I have in the bully community basically is pretty much what you guys say is misrepresenting what you're selling to people. Because unfortunately, I've been a victim of buying something when I didn't know what I was buying, and the person who I bought it from did not care that I didn't know. They were happy to sell it to me anyway, and that's my fault. So I guess one of my biggest pet peeves is something I'm guilty of. Know what you're buying before you spend any money.
Let me show y'all my biggest pet peeve right here, okay? I have perfect proof of why I don't trust anybody anymore in this fucking community, okay?
Damn!
Sorry. I'm sorry. I really don't. But this right here is my biggest pet peeve. This dog right here, I'm going to see if my freaking camera, tell me if you can see my dog from when I switch my camera over.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you see him?
Yeah.
That is a dog that I bought for $2,500,
Oh
y'all.
my god!
$2,500. Okay.
Oh, you froze.
He is the best dog I've ever owned as far as he loves me. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great dog. I got to give him that. But let me tell you what this dude told me this dog was supposed to be. Look at how big he is. That is an XL sized crate, okay? That's an XL sized crate. That dog weighs almost 100 pounds and he is 20 plus inches tall. I was told that he was supposed to be a pocket and that he had great bloodlines and that he was going to be one of the best dogs I'd ever owned and everything, and that I was getting a deal, okay? I was getting a deal for paying $2,500 for this dog. I drove all the way to Clarksville, Tennessee to go pick up this dog, okay? I wasted my time, my money, and everything to go get this dog. This is my first dog that I bought in this bully community, okay? This dog is the reason why I almost gave up hope on this community because of the simple fact that I
don't even want to laugh. That's hard.
That he's a wonderful dog. I was extremely pissed, okay? Y'all have no idea how pissed off I was. I went on such a rampage. I called every registry. I gave the registries his name and everything, found out later on that his mother's papers were hung, found out later on that his father's papers were hung, found out later on that the dude that sold me the dog has never even been known under any registry, that anything that comes from him is hung. So I made sure that I let everybody know about it. I blasted his name everywhere and everything. But that dog right there is why I almost gave up on this community. But if it wasn't for the simple fact that Mama Jen and Law and Jamie McClendon were on that radio show and they gave me hope again to come back to the breed and not give up, because later on after that I got with Mama Jen, and now I have this beautiful baby, this beautiful little monster that is taking up my whole chair.
Turn the lights on, man. Stop looking like a vampire.
But that's my little boy right here, and he is exactly what I wanted.
Can I see Brandy?
You didn't
Turn
get to
some
see
lights
him?
on.
Hold on.
No.
Come here, buddy. Come here,
And
baby.
Shaka
Come
Zulu
here.
said he bought a wax line dog instead of a Dax line dog.
Come here, baby.
Wow.
Brandy lives in the dungeon.
Hi, baby. Come here.
Brandy lives in the dungeon. Let me see. Where's he at? Your shit keeps freezing. Damn, I can't see nothing. All I see is try marks.
No, your screen is black. Okay, now you're coming back.
Mine? My screen is black?
No, Brandy's.
What you gotta realize, man, when you chasing the popular blood, a lot of times those dogs are bred to whoever wants to breed to them. So a lot of times the females are really crappy and they don't even compliment the dog. So you can't buy a dog based off of your liking of the stud. You got to buy a puppy based on your liking of the stud, based off the female they took him to, and based off of whether that puppy carries the traits of the dog and why you like him. You don't want to buy a puppy off of a dog that doesn't carry the traits that you like that dog for. That's like dumb.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
My females are downstairs screaming to get out. Hold on, Brandy. I turned you down because your dog was making a lot of noise. Hold on.
Real quick, Law.
What dog?
Law.
Yo.
I'm going to have to go here. I would love to chat with you guys. Maybe I'll hop on for a brief second in a minute. But my laptop is dying. I didn't bring my charger.
Oh, we gonna set it down in a little while anyway. It's almost 12 o'clock. We've been on since 9.
Uh-oh.
It's
Uh-oh.
11:30.
The countdown begins. The countdown begins, y'all.
11:26, so that's good, man. Ended at 11:30. We had a great show.
Yeah, we can do that. Once again, I want to thank everybody. Hold on, let me see. We might got a question here. I don't want to miss nobody. Like, ask a question, baby, man.
We got a quick question for Tony. Tony,
Right.
what's the steps becoming? Hold on. What are the steps to becoming a judge? Is there a training program?
There's testing. Some guys have gotten in just through testing. Usually, there's a test you have to take. You have to be involved in a breed for at least 6 years, or any breed showing and handling dogs. You also have had to produce or titled 4 dogs with their championship titles and produce 2 of them. Those are usually the requirements to become a judge with registries. It's called the 6-4-2 rule.
Man, all right, anybody want to give a shout out? I think about it while I say goodnight to everybody. Just want to say thank y'all for watching. I saw we had a lot of views. We still got a lot of views. I feel bad that we're shutting it down. Appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody with their feedback. We'll be back on. I'm gonna say Friday. We may do it Thursday, depending on if it's more convenient for everybody. Keep the questions coming. If you want to try to get some questions together for Thursday or Friday, get them together. I'll post up when we're gonna go back on. Anybody who wants to come on, just message Tony or myself, or even Damien, message Damien, and let them know. We want more feedback. We want more opinions. We want people who don't think like us. So don't feel like because you don't agree with what we're saying that you can't come on. Don't think that if we're having a conversation and you don't agree, you can't speak up. Nobody, even though we may get a little aggressive with it, that's just, us going back and forth. It's nothing personal at all. We don't feel no type of way about differences of opinions. Me and Tony clash all the time. Tony just came back and he didn't hear me, but me and Tony clash all the time. It's never nothing personal. It's always about the dog. So if you want to come on and you want to be a part of it and you don't agree with us, you're more than welcome to come on and say that. If you just want to come on and talk and get in the conversation, let me know, but you have to participate. I don't want anybody on here just sitting and not speaking, except for my technician. He's on the job. But, I'll see y'all in a couple of days. Tony, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I think we had a pretty good show. Appreciate everybody, taking their time and coming up with questions and asking us these questions and tuning into the show. Like Lauren said, anybody has any questions, anybody needs any help with anything, whether even if you're not looking to buy a dog from us, we're here to help. So don't feel like you're bothering one of us by contacting us because you bought a dog from someone else or you're not looking to buy a dog. That's not what we're about. So you want to contact us, you can hit me up at Weight and Gold Kennels, WEIGHTINGOLD Kennels, KENNELS @gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook under Tony Gold. Send me a friend request, whatever, and just inbox me. And I look forward to hearing from everybody on our next show. So thanks again.
Randy, you want to say anything?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes till my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I will be reaching the sad, poor 28.
Oh,
damn, you're 28. Old. You're old. I just turned 23.
Yeah, right.
What are you trying to say? I'm old, Brandy? That's it. I'm not picking your dog next time you're in the ring, man. That's it. You're disqualified.
You got to bring your ass to Florida first.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, happy birthday, Brandy. Enjoy your birthday.
Thank you.
We'll see you next show.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. I'll sing you a birthday song. You're lucky we're not on air at 12 o'clock. You want me to sing you happy birthday right now?
Happy early birthday.
Tancio Guriace. Tancio Guriace. All right, Lawrence, you're a hater. I'm going to punch you in your grill next time I see you, son. All right.
Thank you, Tony.
I'm trying to sing the lady happy birthday in Italian, man, and you want to. I mean, come on. See, you could get mad at him, Brandy, because
I
it's your
heard
birthday,
you.
not mine.
Hey, David,
I heard you. Thank you.
Before we get out of here.
No, I'm working on a special guest for Thursday. Hopefully he comes on.
Okay, that'll work. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody that watched, man. I see we still got some people hanging on with us. I appreciate you, man. I'll see you. Everybody, share the link. Let people know we here and what we about, and let them know, man, this is a place for everybody to come and speak, whatever you guys speak. As long as there's no drama, we don't do drama. We're not going to do any bashing or none of that. So if you got something to say, you want to say it, come on and let us know, man. Appreciate you, and we'll see you. I'm going to say Friday, but we might do Thursday.
Do Thursday, because I have to work Friday.
We'll try. Well, it depends on what, we got to get a group consensus together, see what works better. But Friday gives us enough time to come up with some material guests. So
sounds good.
And everyone's going to be in the house on Friday because it's going to be snowing.
Snowstorm. So we'll probably do Friday so everybody has something to do while we stuck in the house in the snow. So
y'all can keep your snow.
We'll see you guys.
All right, good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Peace out.